Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Slicey Dicey. This is Bryan reviewing what? A Paramilitary 2. Bryan, we've seen reviews of this. We've seen lots of reviews of this. What are you doing with another review? You haven't seen my review of it. You haven't heard my opinion of it. I know there's been a lot of reviews of this, but I got some history of this, and I think I have an slightly, somewhat interesting take on this. So, and you know what? Baz on Blades did a review of it like almost a month ago to the day, and he's a freaking genius, and he thought it was still worth reviewing it. Man, that guy, I'm going to put a link in his, if you don't watch his reviews, wow. If you want to know way more than you need to know about a knife, absolutely watch that. If you're just totally like teching out on all the nerdy stuff, and I say that as a compliment, not as an insult, yep, definitely the nerdiest stuff. I'm more kind of a seat of the pants guy, which that doesn't make any sense. I'm a knife in the hand guy. That's the style of my reviews. I've decided I like to knife in the hand guy. I'm just going to I'll give you a lot of stats, but I also just want to talk about more about this, what it's like to use the thing. A lot of us don't look at all that stuff. So, anywho, as I said, this is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and S110V. This is a production. Some people do think this is a sprint run. It is not. It actually. Give a little backstory on the Paramilitary. It came out in 2004, 2010. They came out with the PM2, which had a lot of changes. That's the standard version is an S30V. Right now, the standard version is S30V with a black G10 handles. That'll run you about 125 bucks. This is more 150, 155. It's a little bit more because it is S110V steel, which we'll get to later. I don't want to jump ahead of myself talking about that. Just give a little backstory on my history with the PM2. When I first decided I was going to start reviewing knives a couple months ago, and started acquiring the things I needed, which I thought were some of the benchmark kind of knives, and definitely the PM2 was way up there. The Benchmade 940 was the first kind of benchmark one that I got, and then after that I thought I should probably get a PM2. Shopped around a bit, and I was all ready to buy one. Actually had one in my cart on Amazon or something like that, all ready to buy it, and then late that night before I was going to order it in the morning, I watched Nuttin' Fancy's review of this bad boy. I'm not very good at the flippy thing yet. Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight, and judging my long fingers, my long skinny fingers, you talk about the ergonomics so much, and I thought, you know what, I think I would like that better. And this is almost as much of a benchmark as the Paramilitary 2. Not quite. This I would say, in the Hall of Fame Spydercos, this is 1A. Not necessarily in the lightweight version. They make the Manix. They make both these in a million different versions. But yeah, I would call the Paramilitary 2 number 1, the Manix 2 1A. And yes, like I said, they make this in a bunch of different versions. This is just the one that I chose. This is what I would call, I'm a car analogy guy. I'm going to make some car analogies on here. But this is like the Porsche 911 of knives. What do I mean by that? The Porsche 911s, all of them are awesome, but they make it in a bazillion different versions. And this is no different. You can get it in different colors, different steels, there's sprint runs, Blade HQ exclusives, Knife Center exclusives, all kinds of stuff. You can find all kinds of exclusive versions and stuff like that. People collect nothing but Paramilitary 2, some guys. I know some guys who have 15, 20 of them. I don't blame them. It's an awesome knife. I'm not gonna knock them for doing that. I chose this one. This is a production version, but I chose it for a couple of reasons. The S110V, I hadn't tried that out yet, and we'll get to the color. I love that color. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk first about some stats. This is S110V is the highlight of this. That's the most important stat. This is a powdered steel. It is definitely a super steel. I think it definitely qualifies as a super steel. It's not like, again, car analogies, it's not the Bugatti Chiron of steels, but it's at least a Lamborghini Huracan of steels. It is very good, holds an edge for freaking ever. Awesome stuff. you can't go wrong with it. And in the price range of this isn't that, that insane of a cost. It's it's expensive. I'm not gonna say it's cheap. It doesn't quite fit in my what I call slicey dicey pricey knifey category, which is stuff that's over $200-300, but it's getting there. It's inexpensive enough that I feel okay carrying it all the time, and I don't sweat about it too much. And it's production. If something goes wrong with it, Spyderco has a great warranty program. If I lose it, I'd be pissed, so pissed. But I can get another one. It's not something that I can't fight against. It's not one of the sprint runs or the limiteds or anything. Other important stats about this, there's been a lot of reviews, but let's run through them again. About 8.3 inches long. It's not a small knife, but it's not crazy big. The blade length again is kind of the same, a little less than 3.5 inches. So again, not a crazy long, but a pretty good size blade. This is a decent sized knife. They market this as an EDC, and so that's what I'm gonna. That's what everybody calls it, is the ultimate EDC blade. I think it's that's kind of cutting it short. I think that's kind of insulting it. It's just it's a lot more than that. This is a fairly decent, folding tactical. It's an awesome camping knife. It can do a lot more than just your usual EDC tasks, but that's what we're gonna refer it to, because that's what most people think of it as. Let's do some size comparisons here, just to give you, after I give you all the stats. So we've got let's look at the other benchmark blade that I mentioned. This is Benchmade 940. So it's significantly bigger than a 940. This is definitely much slimmer in the pocket, and much blade length is actually, let's go back to that, because I think the blade length is actually, the Benchmade usable blade length actually has a bit more blade length, but a much smaller handle. Obviously different action and all that. We've got your Delica 4 here, the smaller Spyderco. It's a little smaller than that. Obviously, this is a full-size EDC, I guess, is a way to put it. Where this is a little bigger than what I would call. It's not a mini EDC, but it is a little bit smaller. The aforementioned. God, why am I so bad at flipping stuff when I'm on camera? I think it's because I'm not used to this tripod yet, guys. I'm sorry. I'll get there. I'm not the most coordinated fella. We got your Manix 2 lightweight. All the Manix 2s, by the way, are this same size and shape, so it's still a worthwhile comparison. I'm not going to compare this much to the Manix 2. That's coming. That's coming, guys. Spoiler alert, because I have a Manix 2 coming that is a bit more similar to this one. So I didn't want to compare it to the lightweight, because they're fairly different. And then we got your Ontario Rat 1. It's a little surprise. It's a little bigger than the Rat 1. It doesn't feel as big as the Rat 1, because the Rat 1's significantly heavier. This is 3.75 ounces, guys. That's not bad at all for a knife this size. I skipped over that important stat. The weight is great. I wouldn't call it a lightweight, but it's not bad. Got your internal nested scales there, if you can see that in the camera. They're pretty well milled out, so that's why you get that 3.75 ounce weight. So and a lot of guys really like the having the internal scales. I don't care, as long as it works. I don't care. I mean, I love my Manix 2 lightweight. It doesn't have internal scales. I got other knives that have them. I got some that don't. That's not going to stop me from buying a knife, whether it has internal scales or not. Let's compare it to a more common household object. Just so you guys see, this is your standard, Bic, steal it from the bank pen. A little Bic clicker pen. What is that? What is that? This is a shameless shout out. I don't need to compare to this. It's my other business, Bent Rendered Up Bike. Visit it if you want to go see stuff about recumbent bicycle reviews. I don't know how much crossover we're gonna have, but and this is something cool I got. I'm going to review later tonight. This is an Uzi tack pen too, so that's a useless comparison. But yeah, it's a good size knife. It's a good size, but it's not crazy. We're gonna move on to let's just talk about the aesthetics of it. I love you, Spyderco. I love you, but Man, you make some ugly knives sometimes. That Manic's too lightweight, ain't great looking. That's one of the things I don't like about it. But wow, this one's pretty. I really like it, and maybe I'm blinded by the Blurple, which may be because I am a dudes and ladies. I am a purple fan. Uh, when I got married 4 years ago, coming up on 5 years, our wedding colors were purple and gray, and I'm the one who demanded the purple. It was not my wife. I love purple, and they call this blue. It's not freaking blue. This is purple. I know I've mentioned on here this channel before that I'm slightly color blinded. Even I can tell. This is freaking purple, and it's a great purple. Be proud of your purple, Spyderco. Just call it what it is. Semi-translucent. It's a... You can especially see it there at that angle. It's just a pretty thing, guys. It's really nice. All the finishing is nice and shiny where it should be. The pocket clip is not super deep carry, and I ordered a deep carry pocket clip for it, but I couldn't find a really super shiny one. All I could find was titanium aftermarket ones, so it's not going to quite match, and that's gonna bother me because I'm me. That's gonna annoy me. But side note, guys, why doesn't anybody just make nice stainless steel pocket clips? Why do I have to pay $30 for a titanium one? I don't need a titanium pocket clip. Just make me a nice $15 stainless one, and I will be happy as a little girl. Please, guys, just do that. But yeah, aesthetics is really good. Got usual Spidey hole. It's unmistakably Spyderco. I mean, this is one of their anchor lines. This is kind of what a lot of aesthetically other ones are based off of. So let's get into the action on this thing. How does it work? The functionality. Let's get into some important stuff. It has the infamous or famous. Infamous is bad, right? I think infamous is bad. It's got the famous Spyderco compression lock, which is kind of, to simplify it and probably insult the genius that designed it a little bit, this is an upside down frame lock, basically. We just got it at the top instead of at the bottom. And you just kind of click it like that. This one's brand new, so it's working pretty good now. I'm starting to get it broken. I've only had it for a couple days, so you can either open it like that, or if you want, you can do the standard Spyderco stuff that I can't do with my camera thing in the way. So you can open it in all the usual Spyderco ways. I really like this. I really like the compression lock, and what's nice about it, tip up, tip down, right, left carry. So this is a very ambidextrous knife. I think the compression lock is easier for lefties than a normal, liner lock is. I misspoke earlier. I said this is an upside down frame lock. Upside down liner lock is what I mean. Because I am like the most right-handed guy in the world, and I can still get it open left-handed. So if I can do it, then an actual, real, genuine left-handed person should be able to do it, no problem. But yep, I like and it has a good lockup when you close it. You got what, 35%. You don't need any more than that. That's perfectly fine. Look at how shiny it is. I just love it. The shininess against the purple. You got your open frame construction here. Your standard, stainless steel standoff. So this is a nice little feature too. This isn't. We're kind of talking about aesthetics now, but this is also functional. This is your lanyard hole is a tube that goes all the way through, so you don't have to worry about passing through a bunch of layers and catching your stuff you put on there. I'm not a lanyard guy, but if you are, this is the best lanyard hole I've got on any of the knives that I've owned or touched or played with. It's pretty good. This thing is this is a functional, awesome tool that has been refined for 2004 is when they made the first Paramilitary. So we're talking 13 years. This thing's almost as old as my youngest child. So, overall, I mean, you know what I mean. This one isn't. That would be pointless to review if it was that old. What else are we going to talk about here? We want to talk about the ergonomics. Let's talk about that. This is I have very long but fairly skinny fingers, and I'm a large size glove and almost an XL. And this fits my hand really good. Look, I still got some left there when I grip it in your normal typical saber grip. Honestly, I'll admit I use it mostly, and this same with my Manics too. I use it a lot, choked up, because they have that jimping. So I use it, and man, it is some fine jimping. I don't think anybody does jimping as good as Spyderco does. It's just that right amount of grippy without being tear your fingers up. Rough. Ergonomically in the pocket, it doesn't feel as big as it is. The Mannix 2, as much as I love it, it feels every bit as big as it is when you're reaching it out of your pocket. I mean, it's a smooth edge, but you're just going down the side of it here. But it's a wide knife. You're definitely going to know it's there, even in the lightweight version. I forget that it's there until I got to reach in and pull my wallet out or something around it. I try to be pretty good and not put much in them. I've said before in other reviews, I'm a filthy vapor, so usually all I have in my pocket with my knife is my small vape thing. So that's usually all I have in there. But with this one, you reach in the pocket, it's a little thinner, quite a bit thinner actually. It's still wide, but not crazy wide. And the only thing you feel is you do feel your hand when you reach in your pocket run along that jimping. But it's not an unpleasant thing. It's not like ouch, I've never thought like that, but you do just kind of feel it, rub on your hand as you reach in your pocket. That's it. As far as complaints go, that's a pretty freaking minor one. That's not a big deal. I will always say I do wish it had a deep carry pocket clip, and it does not. But I wish that for every single knife that I get. And I love that. One of my favorite thing about Benchmade is that if you don't get a deep carry pocket clip, you just call them and they send you one. Spyderco, no, not going to do that. The Spyderco just recently allowed you to start tearing knives apart. They used to violate your warranty, but I've not torn this apart, mostly because I've heard in other reviews that they Loctite the holy hell out of everything, and I don't want to strip any screws on this, and I have no need to. It works. The action is good. It works great. Why would I mess with a good thing? Just leave it as it is. If I gotta lube it at some point, I'll drip some stuff in there. But let's get to some cutting. That's always fun. This is, I read or saw in somebody else's review, they said it's the sharpest knife they ever got. And I thought, they probably just haven't reviewed a lot of knives. But, it is. It's pretty sharp. I'm not, that guy might have been right. This may be the sharpest knife I've ever reviewed. It's got to be close. And with that S110V super steel, it's gonna stay that way for a really long time. I clearly have not had to sharpen this yet. I'm sure eventually someday I will. And I don't know how difficult it is to sharpen S110V. It being that sharp and having the reputation for taking that, holding an edge for that long, I imagine it's going to be a bit of a chore to sharpen. But I don't mind that. I like to maintain my knives and play with them and stuff. I really do. The steel is fairly rust resistant. I don't think it's the most rust resistant stuff you can get, but it's a lot more than like an M4 or something like that. M4 is not rust resistant at all, but it is a pretty rust resistant steel, more than S30V. So yeah, that's fine with me. Fine with me. If it stays that sharp for that long, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as I don't have to constantly keep oil in it, which you definitely do not have to do. So let's cut something else. Let's just cut something else, because I just don't want to stop talking about this knife. I think that's what we're doing here. It is not it's a great slicer. It is not the perfect slicer. That honor would still go as far as knives that I own is my Mannix 2. That is a little bit better slicer than this, but I cut through a lot of cardboard, guys. I've said that before. I cut through acres of cardboard, so that matters to me. But this is good. I mean, it's not dramatically worse than the Mannix 2 at all, but it is, the Mannix 2 just a little bit better. So another complaint. Let's come with. I gotta come up with a couple last complaints before we close off here. I always have to end on a bad note. What a terrible guy I am. It's late at night. Well, you guys just want to stop watching this video. Why am I still complaining? One complaint. I complain about all Spydercos. This is $155, $160 knife, right? This is the box you get it in. Yeah, it's named Denver. Yeah, okay, but the box is alright. The box is tolerable, I guess. We've all seen this Spyderco box 100 times, but guys, come on. It's shiny and cheap feeling. And it comes in a little freaking plastic bag. Really, guys? You couldn't, no, not even bubble wrap? I do like their information. It does have a little foam on the bottom. Okay, alright. Okay, guys, that's good. But put it in a little, fiber bag or something. I do like the information they give you. It gives a little history of the paramilitary too, which I'd read, and I kind of used some of it on this. Some proper maintenance shows you all the versions you have. So according to this little thing, this one's the top of the line one, but there are some sprint runs, you know, that aren't on here. This is close to the top of the line paramilitary 2 right now, but unless you get a sprint run or something, you know, something crazy. So, you know, your black silver, black on black, your camos, and the same thing in S30V. So, and then this baby. But you know, that's a pretty minor complaint. It's this is an awesome knife. I see why it is the. What is everything judged by? Is it going to replace my Manix 2 lightweight? No, because it's a lightweight. The lightweight is, I will carry it because it's lighter. It's you know, almost a full ounce heavier, or lighter. So, no, when I want something lightweight, I'm going to carry the Manix 2. And when I'm chopping acres of cardboard, it's slightly better. It'll be more of a comparison when I get the future version that I'm not going to mention yet, because I'm quite happy about it. And for once, I'm going to be reviewing something new that there aren't many reviews out yet of. So, my Manix 2 special. If you guys can guess in the comments which one it is, you probably can. I have mentioned it in online and other forums and stuff, but that will be coming out on Turkey Day. Probably I'll be doing a review of that. I'm getting it Saturday, so a few days to review it. And then probably after that, I will do a little comparison between the two because they're closer together. But yes, well-deserved reputation, and well done, Spyderco. I really like this. I'm sorry for the next couple weeks. This channel's gonna be very Spyderco heavy because I keep going to buy knives, and I always keep winding up buying Spydercos. And as I've said before, I didn't care for Spyderco when I first got knives. I thought they were hideous, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't like them. And now I've got too many of them. I've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 now, I think it's coming up to. So I'm not going to review all of them. Some of them aren't worth it. Some are pretty boring stuff. But yeah, awesome Spyderco. Well done. Can't wait to see more versions of the Paramilitary 2 coming out. I'm sure this will not be my last one. This will probably be in my collection for a long, long time because I'm probably going to carry this one because it's not a sprint run or anything, so I don't mind carrying it and beating it up. But when there are some cool sprint runs, you can guarantee I'm going to be jumping on those. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Go buy a Paramilitary 2. Great knife. Have a good morning, evening, night, day, wherever it is, whatever the hell time you're watching this. I've been Brian. Talk to you later.